what definition are we working with here? Hello and welcome back to the channel. So today's conversation is about why women do not argue with men. Why this conversation? Well, it's about perspectives and how you can protect your peace. Okay. So, one thing you must remember is that you are a radiant, vibrant, intoxicating woman. So you do not need to argue with men about explaining who you are, how you are. You just are, okay? So, and you do not need to jade. Jade means you do not justify, argue, defend, or explain too much about, you know, who you are or whatever. You just are. You just have those desires, okay? Or what have you. You just do not need to do that. And one thing you must remember also about men is that men, they respond to competing and winning. So when they want to argue, or if they have to argue, they will often believe that they have a strong argument, and they may believe that the woman doesn't have a strong argument or what have you. But really, as women, women don't care about having a strong argument, okay? Women just want to say what they want to say. They don't care whether, their argument is strong, which is why sometimes you will hear women say, "Oh, I said what I said, and that's it." Or "I said what I said," okay? Because they only care about saying what they have to say, not that they have to have a strong argument, because they're not there to compete or to win. Okay. So, yes. So, when a man is trying to argue with you, you can protect your peace by saying, "Oh, well, I acknowledge your perspective. Oh, that's a different perspective to have. Oh, now there's a perspective." You can say that, or you can also say, "Oh, well, perspectives and perspectives." So that way he knows you don't need to argue. Okay. You do not need to be argumentative or combative. You just need to acknowledge their perspective, because what you need to remember is that truth is perspective. So maybe he's right, maybe he isn't, because from one perspective he is right. From another perspective, he's not right. It's a lie. It's not true. So really, it's like, okay, you don't have to spend hours arguing about who's right or who's wrong. Maybe both of you are right. Maybe both of you, maybe you both are wrong, or what have you. So it's a matter of perspective. And you can always tell the man that you accept his perspective. Okay. You acknowledge his perspective. Okay. By accepting his perspective, you're not saying that he's right. You're not saying that he's wrong. You're not saying that he's anything. You're just saying that you accept his perspective. And that's about it. Because when you think about perspective, look at it like this, okay? Like, you know how you often hear people say, "Oh, Columbus discovered America," right? So, yes, perhaps Columbus did discover America, but from whose perspective? Okay. Because from the perspective of the people who were already there, who had already discovered America and were living there, Columbus did not discover America. Okay. But from another perspective, from someone who has a different definition of what discover is, then Columbus did discover America. Clearly, these people are working with a different definition of discovered. And it's okay because words have different meanings. So they are working with a different definition. Okay. Which is like, okay, well, he didn't know that it was there and he showed up and he discovered it. Now other people know that it's there. So he discovered America. In his reality, yes. Okay. So now another way you can look at it, like look at perspective or point of view, is if you go and ask two people, one person who has been trained to believe one way and another person who has not trained to believe the same thing, you show them the number 666. One person may say, oh, that's bad. 666 is bad, you know. But the other person will look at it and say, oh, that's actually good because that's the number 9. You know why? Because if you add 6 plus 6 plus 6, you get 18. And when you add 1 plus 8, you get the number 9. So when you reduce it to a single number, it's the number 9. And even if you flip or reverse the 6, you get 9 plus 9 plus 9, which equals 27. And now you reduce it, 2 plus 7 equals 9, you get 9. So really, it all comes down to 9. So it's a 9. It's a good thing. Okay. So you see, it's all a matter of perspective. Yes, one person who has been trained to believe that it's bad, and another person who has not been trained to believe that it's anything or that it's bad. So that's how you remember to protect your peace. That's how you are able to protect your peace because you know it's a matter of perspective. Okay. And you're able to have more peaceful relationships with people or with men, well, people in general. Yeah, and you're able to protect your peace. Okay, so I think I'll end it here. That's all I had to say without saying too much. I hope you've been inspired by this conversation. So be inspired. Bye.